for us, it was important with the foundation to just show emerging gender diverse filmmakers that the future is possible.
My guest today is Jay Stevens, the co-writer and director of the new film, Really Happy Someday.
If you must know, musical theater work kind of dried up for me lately.
Anything to do with you being on T?
Eight years.
Hi, Jay.
Hi, Peter.
How's it going?
Amazing.
Well, I need to congratulate you on this film, Really Happy Someday, which is such a poignant and ultimately like pretty hopeful story of someone going through gender transition while literally trying to find their voice. Do you want to just talk a bit about what about this specific story made you want to make it as your first film, feature film?
Yeah, I met Breton the Llama, the lead and my co-writer, on the street actually really close to this building, and I was just like, this person is so sparkly. And that day happened to be his 1 year on testosterone anniversary. And so that night posted so many Instagram stories and like a ask me anything about his vocal transition. And so because we had met, I was like going through them and I watched all of them. There were like 50. And I just went, this is such a nuanced, important version of this story that I think folks have been telling, but that really excited me because I think it's a take that I hadn't seen before, and such, a specific element of transitioning that a lot of folks, when they hear the logline of the film, they're like, oh, I never even thought of that. Yeah. And I just love the there's a line in the film, but it's about losing the one thing you always trusted, which was your voice, but becoming at home in your body. And I just think that that's such a powerful thing to represent because it's important that folks feel at home in their body. But yeah, to lose your career and lose the one thing you could trust is scary.
Yeah, and Breton is so fantastic in the film.
The best.
I want to just know a little bit about your collaboration process because you wrote the film together, as you just said.
Yeah, it was very easy, which sounds ridiculous, but we were in different cities, and so it was a lot of Zoom sessions, and we would just kind of talk about the themes and everything we wanted to put on screen, and then sometimes we would sit on Zoom and write together. Sometimes we would go, okay, you take this scene, I'll take this scene, and then we kind of hand them back and forth. So it really depended on what the moment needed, and it was just the best because Breton is so open and so just like art forward, and so it was always, for both of us, it was just like, what makes the most sense for the story? And it was like, how do you take ego out of it when your co-writer is the lead of the film and like, uh-oh, I have to do that now? And yeah, he was so willing to write these scenes and then be vulnerable in terms of the representation that is on that screen. I'm forever grateful for that gift.
Well, I mean, it's so wonderful when you meet someone and you want to collaborate with them and you think it's a good idea, but you never really know, and then it ends up being sort of beautiful chemistry, and it seems exactly that's what happened here.
Yeah, and I realized after completing the film that once we met, I never looked at a single clip of Breton acting. Like, he's been in film and TV before, and I didn't look it up. I just was like, this is the right person to make a film with, and I realized that could have been a huge risk, but luckily showed up on day one. I was like, oh, magic.
Yeah, definitely all worked out.
Yeah.
One thing very unique about this film, particularly for independent film, is that you shot it over the course of a year.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about why you did that and what that afforded you, sort of creatively.
There was no question to us about if we were going to try and shoot this movie in 2 weeks and make it feel like we shot it over a year to capture transition authentically on screen. Like, to us, there was only one way to make this movie. And it felt important. There's like so many subtle changes that you see throughout the film. And so it was the best decision we could have made, and like so grateful for everyone when our cast or our crew, when I was like, hey, want to make this movie with me? I think we can find time throughout the year to keep coming back to it. Yeah. And I think it afforded us the truth. Like, absolutely.
Yeah, and it really comes across. Also, musical theater is a big part of this film.
Yes.
I'm just curious what your relationship to musical theater is in general, and what sort of are your favorites, perhaps?
Oh my gosh. I didn't love them until I saw Rent just on TV, like the movie. I was flipping through the channels one day, and it happened to be during La Vie Boheme, and Maureen and Joanne kissed, and I was like, I was quite little, and I was like, that's a thing? And literally my life made sense in that moment. And so I think that speaks to the power of representation. And then I just got obsessed with Rent. Like all I would listen to over and over and over again was that soundtrack.
Do you have aspirations to maybe make a musical film someday?
Well, I feel like we made a non-musical musical with this
for
film
sure, you
a
did.
little bit. It's like we Trojan horsed the musical parts of it. I'm like, I don't want to give away the set. Yes,
Okay.
yes, I want to turn a film that exists into a limited series.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you need to say more.
I don't know. I don't want to give other people the idea.
No, don't. Actually, you're right. Let's just move on from there. So you are the co-founder and president of Spindle Films Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization that supports transgender and gender diverse filmmaking.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the mission of this foundation and what change you're trying to evoke with it?
Yeah, absolutely. Spindle Films Foundation is a mentorship program and a nonprofit organization that supports trans, non-binary, two-spirit, and gender-diverse emerging filmmakers. And we just finished our first year of programming, which has just been like the best experience. And we had 9 mentees who are all writers and directors who are just trying to level up in their career and get more experiences. And so we had a 6-month mentorship program, and it started with a week-long intensive in Banff, which is incredible mentors and guest speakers. And it's been really exciting. It's growing, it's evolving, and it's kind of taking off in a really cool way. And we've gotten a lot of support and love for the program, and folks who understand how important having programs like this and the trans film mentorship are to this industry. For us, it was important with the foundation to just show emerging gender diverse filmmakers that the future is possible. Because I think it can get so overwhelming. This industry is hard. There's a lot of no's you're gonna get. There's a lot of rooms you're gonna be in where you're the only gender diverse person on that set or in that writer's room or whatever it might be. And that can be incredibly isolating. And so to be able to run a mentorship program for emerging gender diverse filmmakers, I cried so many times that week because I just was like, the power in this room and this feeling, it's so rare that we get spaces like that. Yeah. And so I'm so excited that we're building those and that we get to keep building those. And it was important to focus on writers, directors in this mentorship program. And this coming year, we're doing a producers lab, which I'm really excited about, because to me, the industry is not going to change in the meaningful ways until the folks in hiring power match the content that we're trying to make.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's kind of why we wanted to do those positions, just to help bring up some folks who then can hopefully hire many more, and then it's like a trickle-down effect, ideally. That's
so great. I mean, from my perspective at least, it really seems like the future is bright and possible. I think because of events like the Trans Film Summit and companies like Spindle, I'm just sort of witnessing this surge of television and film that is trans storytelling by trans storytellers, and that's never really been the case before. And I'm thinking Sort of, which you directed episodes of, and your film now, alongside films like Mutt, and I saw the TV Glow, which sort of blew my mind earlier this year.
Yes.
Are you hopeful?
I'm very hopeful. And I think you said it perfectly, which is like, we need the folks behind the camera to match who we're seeing in front of the camera, because for so long, I think we were seeing that representation in front of the camera, and the industry was kind of patting themselves on the back. Yeah. But I think viewers who understand that experience can feel that it's not quite there. Like, even though you're seeing those actors on screen, there's some sort of lack that you can just tell. And I think even just our mentees, the folks in the room at the Trans Film Summit, the future is so bright. I am so hopeful, and I just want to figure out how to give all of those people money so they can make their films, because the stories that they have and are ready to be told need to be out there.
Yeah, I mean, it really feels like, you think not even 10 years ago, and it was not in front or behind. And the Hollywood was sort of celebrating, I don't know why I did that for Hollywood. It is, it's not quote unquote Hollywood, it is Hollywood.
Yeah.
But they're like celebrating Dallas Buyers Club. Like, that's only 10 years ago. Yeah. The change that has happened in that 10 years is remarkable. And I think it's because folks like yourself have come together and like sort of fought back and made something for yourselves, and made it such a community sort of rally around. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And I'm so happy for you with this film, and I hope everybody goes and sees it.
Thank you, me too.
Thanks so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
2, 1.